Well, it was close throughout. In fact, tied with less than 3 minutes to go, but Jefferson City made the big plays down the stretch. Monty Harge extending the lead with the rebound and follow for Jefferson City to give them the advantage over Poplar Bluff. Down the stretch, the Jays hit free throws to secure the 60-56 win and win the 4A state title, prompting a celebration at midcourt at the Hearn Center as Jefferson City captures the 4A State Basketball Championship. Welcome back to Sportsline, everyone. I'm Chris Gervino, along with the head coach of those state champion Jefferson City Jaybirds, Jim Byland. And Jim, the happy video you just saw, congratulations. What a wonderful feeling it must be to get that first state title after so many good teams and good years of basketball.
Well, we're pretty excited about it still, although I don't really think it's soaked in completely. We're still a little bit on cloud nine, but at the same time, we were so focused on what it was we were trying to do, that when it was over, it was kind of like, well, there's got to be something else. And the players were, after you saw the emotion at half court there, they really got quiet in a hurry, and it's kind of like, well, there's got to be another game, but it's all over and we won it.
It's all over and you won all you could win, and you know, you go through such a tough schedule, and there were some tough times for your ball club early in the season, but it's a long haul, isn't it? And I guess all the hard work paid off, and the tough competition really settled out for your club in the end.
Well, they hung in. They had some tough times. January, especially for us, was really tough. We traveled 2,000 miles, and we were here and there and everywhere playing good teams, mainly away from Jeff City. But we hung tough, and it paid off. Come February, we were a much better team. And 3 weeks ago, when we started in the district tournament, we elevated our play. We really did. We had a bunch of guys step up, and we were a better team than we had been at any point.
What does the state championship mean to you personally, being a coach at Jefferson City now for several years, and again, earning wide respect across the state, and having very good players, hard workers over the years to finally get there to that winner's circle?
Well, I think coaches are like players in that when you're a player, you always dream about playing in the championship game and making the winning free throw or the winning basket or something like that. When you're a kid, you do those things. When I was a kid growing up, I thought those same thoughts, only it was from a coaching standpoint because I wasn't that good a player. And it took a long time for it to come, but mainly I'm happy for my family. They've hung in, they sacrifice a lot for you to do the things you do. The community has been behind us for the whole 10 years that I've been there. The people in the school, the teachers, the students, the administration. It's just a total involvement by our entire community. And I know they're proud of us, and we certainly want to salute the fans that came out in force, especially yesterday. There was a lot of red and black in the stands, and that, in a 4-point game, what's the difference? Maybe it was that.
Could have very well have been thousands of Jaybird fans there in attendance, you're right. Let's mention the players. A lot of attention goes to Monty Harge, but he's one of several talented players. Mention other guys like Jamal Horton, whose brother Steve plays for Mizzou, a fellow by the name of Torrey Griffin. I'm not sure how many fans across the state knew of him before yesterday, but they probably do now. Others, Richie Abachan, Brad Center, your son Jay. I mean, this was a deep, talented team. You used several different players throughout the course of the season. They all contributed.
Well, we did. We really didn't set a starting lineup till 2 games before the district, 2 or 3 games before the district. We moved people around all year trying to find just the right combinations for what we had, and we fought through a lot of injuries, and a lot of various things happened, and it wasn't until about midway through February that we got everybody healthy and headed in the right direction, and once we were able to get some minutes under our belt and know exactly what we were made up of, we just started to play a lot better. But you can mention a lot of names. Everybody likes to talk about Monty because of his size and the fact that he's a good player, but it was a total involvement by our coaching staff that worked a lot of extra hours, the managers, and all the people around the team. And from the last guy on the bench that had to go up against the starters in practice. I mean, our what we would call our bottom 5 the week or 2 weeks before we went into district, they lost there weren't any games for them to play, so basically in practice they were doing what our opponents were going to do, and I mean, they elevated their play so that in practice we were playing against better players. So there's just so many things that go into having a championship team, and this group found the secret to success, and basically what it gets down to is the same thing for success in any endeavor: hard work.
Talk about elevating your play. You have to elevate your neck to see Monty Harge out on the Hearn Center hardwood, and of course he really made his presence felt this week. A lot of folks know about him, only a junior in high school, 7 feet tall. We'll look at some of his highlights from the weekend. People I know this morning on KFRU Radio on our Sunday morning Sportsline show are asking about Monty's future in college. Still more than a year away, but you are helping him, I know, sift through a lot of the mail and attention he's getting already, aren't you?
Well, he's getting a lot of mail, and he's taking home and reads it. And Monty's an intelligent young man that will make his own decision. I'm sure he and his family will make a decision as to what they think's best for him when they get through all of the various things that are out there. But right now what he's got to do is concentrate on his schoolwork and concentrate on improving his game and take the letters and really get through them and get a smaller number to where it's a workable number and start getting some ideas in mind where he'd like to finish up, because there's a lot of people that are going to be interested in him, I'm sure of that.
Of course, you've sent Steve Horton already to the Missouri Tigers. I know Monty's attended a lot of Mizzou games, and folks here would love to see him at home. I guess that's a possibility, and you'll probably be involved to an extent helping him, which is a good thing. I know a lot of the people down there appreciate the fact that they have a Jim Byland to help counsel the players and the individuals.
Well, Monty's been through it with his brother Steve, and his family's aware of the process, so I really don't think that I'll have much to do with it, just to help him with some of the things that come up, because he's going to know. He's going to see something that's going to indicate to him that some place is going to feel like home, or some campus is going to look like he's going to be extremely comfortable there. And he's seen the United States, and I really think he'll make a good choice. He's a quality young man that's really maturing a lot at this stage in his life.
Monty's brother Steve Martin, the Tiger football standout as a defensive lineman. What about some of the other individuals now? Folks also interested in Jamal Horton. His name comes up because he is an outstanding player and a college prospect. Jamal Horton and Torrey Griffin, their futures possibly.
Well, really, we've been through the Final Four thing 3 or 4 times, and there are a lot of coaches in the stands. And if it's like the past times we've been to Final Four, we'll start getting a lot of letters and phone calls this week. People say, well, you know, who is this guy? We didn't know that much about him, or I saw this guy play before, maybe wasn't that impressed, but I was this weekend. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of people out there for those guys to choose from. They're good basketball players. They're going to maybe have to play a little bit better, a different position, or have a different role on a college team. But I'm sure right now what they're going to be doing is just enjoying this and letting some time go by before they get heavily into that decision process. But they are capable of playing in a lot of places. You know, they're different players, and they may be able to go to the same place to play.
What's the most gratifying thing for Jim Byland coaching a high school basketball team, whether it's a state championship squad or not, because you've been doing it so long and so well for so many years now?
Well, I really think what I enjoy most about coaching is when our guys come back. After a lot of them come to school at Mizzou and go around the country and play all the places they play and come back to visit with us in the summer, or come to a J game or something like that, and see what they become, because that's the bottom line for us, is exactly what do our players become when they get done with their high school basketball, because most of them aren't going to play any additional basketball, and high school basketball is part of the education process, and these guys can go out and be good citizens and and have good families, and they're happy, then we're happy for them, and just to be a part of that. So something else, you know, 23 years, I go back to guys now that are in their 40s that I've coached, and they're all doing well. I'm really excited for them, and yeah, that's the most gratifying part.
Well, listen, congratulations on the state championship. We're going to bring in your faithful assistant next segment for a brief visit to Dave Fox, talk about Jay Pride down in the capital city, and also a bit more of what goes on behind the scenes, Jim. So stay right there. We'll get to a break and come back with Dave Fox right after this. Well, the 4A girls champions for the 3rd year in a row, St. Joseph's Academy, the Angels, heavenly indeed. Kristen Polkel considered one of the nation's best. She had 17 yesterday. Molly Pyrex scored 19 as the Angels won their 71st consecutive game, beating Springfield Kickapoo for the title 59-43. Welcome back to Sportsline, everyone. Chris Gervino joined now by David Fox, the fine, able-bodied assistant for the Jefferson City Jays. That's not a bad basketball team, girls or guys, that St. Joe squad, huh?
She's a great player, both of them, Pyrick and Focal. Tell you what, there's a point in time we saw them playing Jeff City, and our girls played them very well, that we could have possibly used them in a couple of situations this year, tell you what.
But you made it through even without them, David, and congratulations to you. And it was fun when we were lining up Coach Byland for the show. He insisted on your being part of the program, and that was fine with us, because as we jokingly mentioned to him, we know he does all the coaching anyway, but we see him a lot of times in the huddle, and you are the more vocal person a lot of times. I don't know if that's because Jim's voice cracks like it was on the air. We were kidding him about it just a few minutes ago here, but he lets you do a lot of the coaching, which must be a tribute and an honor for you.
Well, you know, the game calls for so many different situations and so many different things, and one of the things that we do that I'm just very fortunate to be able to do as a coach is to have a pretty good hand as far as what goes on with our team. And Coach Byland has been very nice and very good to give me that opportunity. And a game calls for so many different things. He's worried about matchups, possibly defensively, or we have a different out-of-bounds set, or a different play, or something happens. And you know, it's just not me. He knows what's going on. But you know, we try to keep up with every situation that we may encounter.
What about the program at Jefferson City? It is amazing to watch, regardless of the sport. It seems that school excels in almost any endeavor it has. And you're all human beings like the rest of us. So what makes that school so special athletically?
I'll tell you what, you know, if you come and look at our facility, they're on the baseline in the gym, J-Pride. And it's in everything that goes on in Jeff City, from basketball to football to academics, to the music department, the band. There's pride. And it comes from the administration, through the staff, the faculty, the support staff, and most importantly, the students. And they're absolutely phenomenal. And that's one thing about our team that's so remarkable, is the pride these kids have. And they just don't know what it's like to give up. And if it's not working, they find it, you know, find out what's wrong and then make it work.
You do a lot of the work with them, strength coach, with the conditioning programs during the off-season. That's a lot of times where games and championships are won, isn't it, in the background?
At this level, at the 4A level, at any level really in basketball, and you can look at the NCAA tournament or even at the professional level, you've got to have a body, and it's got to be a body that you can take some punishment at the same time you can give it out. We've been very fortunate that this past year, especially, our kids know what it takes. And we've had great leadership. Some of our guys have done a fantastic job in the weight program. We also do flexibilities and agilities and some plyometric exercises to enhance their abilities on the court. And again, without their dedication, hard work, and it comes back to J-Pride, it wouldn't work.
What did the basketball state championship mean to you? Because you've been around all the football state titles down there at Jefferson City, and those of us in this area knew it was a great basketball program too, but to get that state championship.
No, I kind of agree with Coach Byland. It really hadn't soaked in yet. It's a great feeling. And, you know, we saw the kids after the game, had a post-game meal, but it really won't affect me until I see some of the guys tomorrow, you know, and get the expression and talk a little bit. But obviously you're happy. You don't know what's going to happen from this point on. You know what you would like to accomplish since you've been here, and hopefully the younger kids will notice that, and the work ethic and what have you continue.
I would imagine it would be pretty fun walking the halls of Jefferson City High School tomorrow, and the kids will enjoy going to class even a little more than usual, don't you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
I hope so, anyway.
Well, they sure should. Congratulations to you, Dave, on a fine job along with Coach Byland, and bringing home that state championship to Jefferson City and making all of us in Mid-Missouri very proud.
Thank you very much.
All right. David Fox, hard worker, big help to Jim Byland and the Jefferson City basketball program, the state champion Jays. We'll come back. Before we go to a break, though, we'll show you a shootout for the state championship in Class 3A. Kelly Thames, another Missouri Tiger recruit, leading the Jennings Warriors against the Borgia Knights. Thames had a big ball game, 25 points, but it wasn't enough. Borgia with some outstanding shooting of its own from long range, and the Borgia Knights held on to win it over Kelly Thames and Jennings 74-72. They are Borgia, they are good. Borgia's first ever state boys basketball title.